All of these graphic frames have very sharp edges, almost as sharp as the cacti inside them. Let's zoom in and see if we can do something about that. I'd like to have a rounded corner on some of these graphic frames. How do I do that? Do I have to use the pen tool and draw out Bezier curves myself? Absolutely not. I'll show you how you can add corner effects easily. I'm going to select this frame and come up to the control panel, and I want to point out this little pop-up menu. This is the corner options menu, and you can see that right now it's set to none, no corner option. But if I change it to rounded, look what happens. I suddenly get rounded corners on this frame. I can change the radius of that curve by changing this value right above it. Make this a little bit higher, like 18 points. That looks pretty good, but what if I wanted one corner to be sharp and the other ones to be round? Can I do that? Absolutely. To do that, I'm going to go to the Object menu and choose Corner Options. The Corner Options dialog box lets me change each corner of this frame independently. I want to make sure that the link icon is turned off if I want to change one corner. Otherwise, it'll change all the corners at the same time. So here it's turned off, and I'm going to come up here and change upper left corner to none. Because the preview checkbox is turned on, I can see that it immediately gets turned into a sharp corner. Let's go ahead and click OK here, and I want to show you another way that InDesign lets you adjust the corners. See this little yellow square that's in the upper right corner of this frame? You might have been wondering what that's for. Well, that's the Corner Options button. And if I click on it, all of a sudden I get these little yellow triangles on each of my corners. If I drag one of those around, you can actually change the corner radius. It did not change the upper left corner because that one was already overridden in the Corner Options dialog box. But it changes all the other corners. Now, if I want to change one corner and not affect the others, I hold down the Shift key. Shift drag on this lower right corner. I'll drag it back, and you can see that now I have a sharp corner in the lower right as well as the upper left. Now, if you don't like all those little yellow boxes that are attached to all your frames, you don't have to look at them. You can turn them off by going to the Window menu and choosing from the Extras pop-out menu, the sub-menu, Hide Live Corners. Then they'll disappear. As soon as I deselect off of this frame, now you'll see that all my other frames no longer have that little yellow box there anymore. Now, I do want to point out that those corner options are not just for frames. For example, I'm going to come over here and select my pen tool, and then I'll come over here where I have a little bit of white space, and I'm just going to draw a zigzag out here. All right, so I have a zigzag with very sharp corners. But now I can go up to my Corner Options pop-up menu in the control panel and change that from none, in other words, very sharp corners, to rounded. And it affects my line too, even this open path. I can even change the radius of those. Let's say make it double this size, or make it 24. Now this is great because I don't know about you, but I am not the best drawer of Bezier paths. So in this case, it would be very hard for me to draw a path this smoothly, but it's easy with corner options. By the way, it's not just the rounded corner options that work. There's all kinds of other wacky paths in here as well. For example, I could choose bevel, which gives me kind of a weird, sharp edge, or inset, which makes it kind of even stranger. That looks almost like a stock market report. Or my favorite, fancy. Oh, it's fancy, all right. These kinds of effects make it easy to create great-looking layouts fast, and even better, update or edit them later.